Welcome everybody to OHL Primetime Sunday Afternoon Edition. The Brampton Centre for Sports and Entertainment is the scene for the back half of a home-and-home between the Mississauga Ice Dogs and Brampton Battalion. Glad you can join us here on Rogers Television. I'm your host, Mark Heron. And as we mentioned, the back half of a home-and-home between these two squads that are battling in the Central Division in the OHL. And right now they are tied for third place in that Central Division. So this game, very important for both squads. The Mississauga Ice Dogs won on Friday night, as you saw some of the highlights, powered by Dan Rudisella with two short-handed markers. The Mississauga Ice Dogs 6-2 winners, but the Brampton Battalion certainly won't forget that, and they're going to be coming out hard here today to try to establish some kind of a tempo and an early lead. They're never battling upstairs, but certainly it's always a treat to go upstairs to our play-by-play man, Doug Anderson, and our color commentator today, Sam Cosentino. Gentlemen?
Be a great matchup this afternoon. The Battalion come into this game winless in their last four and they've lost 7 of their last 9 games, so they need a win here this afternoon. The pressure is on them against the Ice Dogs. It should be a different account than Friday night.
Well, Thursday night, Brampton paid a visit to St. Mike's. In the first 10 minutes of that game, came out flying gangbusters. Nothing to show for it. In fact, they outshot the St. Michael's Majors 19-7 in that first period. No goals. Ended up losing the game 3-0. And Friday night, Brampton pays a visit to Mississauga. The Ice Dogs turn the tables, come out flying, get an early lead on the Brampton Battalion. Next thing you know, it turns into a 6-2 victory. And so a tale of two different teams for as far as Brampton and Mississauga is concerned.
So we get set for another Battle of Peel in net for the Battalion tonight. Brad Topping.
Yeah, 410 goals against average, 8.892 save percentage. Looked a little shaky Friday night.
Miguel Beaudry, as per usual, in the net for the Ice Dogs.
Yeah, he sees a lot of rubber. He's been very solid between the pipes Friday night. A great example of that, making 33 saves. As we mentioned, using every part of the body, including the mask, the pads, everything, to stop Brampton. And it wasn't through lack of opportunity that Brampton lost that game, but
and when you get 10 power play opportunities in a game, you got to connect on at least 20% of them. Here we go for opening face-off as Rudisella gets it back to Linhart. Backpedaling inside his own zone, Scott Hotham. Linhart gets it to center as Lions will tip it to the neutral zone, and Eric Schwanz fires it cross ice for the Battalion. For the Ice Dogs. For the Battalion, their big line has Adam Henrik out with Chris Clayton, and Ullahen scores! Ryan Ullahen makes it a 1-0 game. The Battalion jump out on top, drawing first blood.
Well, a bit of a defensive breakdown in front of Beaudry, and you notice on Friday night, Brampton putting a lot of shots up high on Beaudry, and as small as he is, he was able to make the save. Here, the first shot on goal goes about shin high, and it beats Beaudry. Well, Holland picking up the goal for the Brampton Battalion. And Dougie, that's his 4th goal of the season.
Buckley takes him out nicely along the boards. Rudisella, a little bit of tap after the play. Cross ice pass on the stick of David Brown. Nice drop for Camille Krebs. Beautiful 3-way passing play. Kevin Young makes it 2-0. What a 3-way passing play by the Battalion. Miguel Beaudry, really no opportunity.
Oh, Dougie, that was something else. Man, oh man, what a great passing play that was. And the defense really broke down. There's 4 Brampton Battalion players going into the offensive zone, just 2 Ice Dogs to defend them. Krebs gets across ice to Young, who makes absolutely no mistake. Goes shelf on Beaudry for the 2nd goal of the game, and a 2-0 lead for Young, his 1st goal of the season. And that's a big boost for the Brampton Battalion. As you see, Steve Ludzik now deciding to take a timeout, and I think he feels the heat with what we talked about off the top of this program. Brampton really getting out to a fast start in this game.
Luby kept in at the blue line as McClement pokes it past Schremp. Luby and Siska scores! Wojtek Folsky on the backhand makes it 3-0. Under 9 minutes gone here in the first period. Is this a carbon copy? Just a 180 of Friday night's game when the Ice Dogs came out flying.
And you know what, Dougie? It's not necessarily Brampton applying tremendous amount of pressure, but what Brampton is doing is really taking advantage of its opportunities. That's the 3rd turnover we've seen in their own zone as the Ice Dogs give it away. Volsky, amongst the league-leading scores as far as rookies are concerned. He adds to that total with his 5th goal of the year, and just like that, before we're halfway through the first period, It's 3-0 Battalion.
Beaudry behind his own net. Hotham's got it. To the side, look at Volsky in front. Knocked down. Wojtek Volsky allowed to step right out in front of Beaudry. Lojek steps into one. Huge glove save from Miguel Beaudry.
Scott Hotham, you came over from the Saginaw Spirit. We're going to have our play of the period and lots more, all coming up in the first intermission. Gentlemen.
They score right off the draw. The Battalion make it a 4-0 lead as Brent Burns goes over top of Miguel Beaudry, and the Battalion are on a roll here at home.
Well, Dougie, the prognosticators that we are really called this one as far as Brampton getting out to a strong start. You couldn't ask for anything more if you're a Battalion fan. Boy, oh boy, really taking it to the Ice Dogs right now. 4-0 lead. That a power play goal, the second of the season for Burns. And this is a tough hole for the Ice Dogs to try and dig themselves out of.
Onabaga. Chris Hawley off the draw, feeds it to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan tries to go around Lojek. Hit from behind. Jacina out in front. Onabaga with 3 cracks at it, and Topping comes up big.
Oh man, Brad Topping, outstanding between the pipes. You see O'Sullivan go down, and I tell you what, I think he's a marked man here this afternoon at a pretty good game Friday night. And one of the keys for the Battalion and Stan Butler is to key on Mississauga's best player, that being Patrick O'Sullivan. He got sandwiched here in the middle of 2 players. That allowed the puck to go free, leaving a wide open opportunity for Onabaga. He had 2 cracks at it, but Topping, oh man, a couple of great saves.
Well, there was 2 portions of that replay you had to keep an eye on. Patrick O'Sullivan taking a beating inside the blue line. Young back to pick it up, twisting and turning inside his own zone. McClement gets it back to the point. Young with time, lets it fly. That hit a body in front. Rosendahl scores! Nice pass from Jay McClement. Scott Rosendahl makes it 5-0.
Well, Rosendahl picks up his 5th goal, and he does it from his office, Dougie. That's where he makes a living, right in front of that net. He's a tough guy, has taken beatings for years in this league in front of the net. But watch him as he's hanging around, finally gets the pass, takes the time, goes upstairs, beating Beaudry, the second power play goal of the game for the Battalion, who went without a goal in 10 opportunities Friday night. And boy, the tables have really turned. You gotta like what you're seeing from the Brampton Battalion.
Curran at center. 2-line pass, they'll blow it down. Their 4th goal right off the draw. Will not happen that way this time, as time runs down and a bit of a pileup ensues afterwards as Dan Siska and Tyler Harrison get tied up together. There's Siska wearing number 97. Big Pavel Vrojden comes in to help out as well. Grant Buckley in the middle of the fray. He's got Nathan Onabaga tied up. Buckley and Onabaga will go to the ice.
Seeing some of the frustration come out now by the Ice Dogs at the end of this first period, and Onabaga and Buckley seem to be the main 2 combatants.
From behind, Young still has it. McClement runs a little interference, and it gets over to Krebs. Camille Krebs. Open is Young, he winds, lets it go and scores! Kevin Young turns it up and lets go a howitzer. It's a 6-0 hockey game.
That's a coming out party for Young in this hockey game. Had a goal and an assist in the first period. Now comes up with his 2nd goal of the game, his 2nd goal of the season to go along with that 1 assist. And a lot of traffic being created in front of that net as you see the puck go back to the point. Guess who's there in front, Dougie? Give you 2 guesses. The first one doesn't count. Rosendahl creating the traffic once again, creating the screen in front of Tannel, and a pretty tough start for Matt Tannel, who comes in cold off the bench and gives up a goal in the first shot he faces.
I'm guessing Scott Rosendahl.
You got it.
That away. Scott Hoffer inside his own zone. Plays Trent for Jacina. He gets it partially blocked as Clayton will send Henrik away on a breakaway. 2-0. Henrik on goal. Big save from Matt Tannel.
Oh man, the action really starting to heat up past the midway point in the second period.
The brunt of that one. Krebs steps around his man, tries to go over top. And again, Tannel steers it aside. Volsky gets it back for Young. Battalion just pressuring the Ice Dogs. They score! Kevin Young from the point once again.
Well, there you have it, Dougie. That's the hat trick for Young, who now has 4 points in the hockey game. And you know, this power play was a minute 19 old. The puck did not leave the Ice Dog zone. Rudisella had 2 opportunities to get it out a little earlier on. He didn't do so, maybe a little greedy after scoring 2 shorthanded Friday night. But nonetheless, the puck remained in the Ice Dog zone. Shots coming from all over the place. And I'll tell you what, Anthony Vella, who's doing the shots on goal ticker here today, may end up with arthritis after this one. He's had to hammer that button several times. 29 shots on goal, and Young has his 3rd of the game.
Little carpal tunnel syndrome.
Man, oh man.
Here's a break as it's tipped ahead. Rosendahl gets it back to McClement. Jay McClement right in on goal. He hit the post. 7:05 to go in the 3rd period. Camille Krebs turns it away. Krebs through traffic. Feeds it out in front. They score! Adam Henrik makes it an even 8 goals on the night.
Well, it was Krebs who made that play. He stole it at the blue line, and I'll tell you what, he kicked it up a notch. As soon as he stepped across that line, Henrik knew exactly what was going on as he went straight towards the net. Finally, Krebs able to get the pass cross ice, get it to Henrik, who had a wide open cage. Look at Krebs turn it up. In fact, Henrik fell behind him. He waits, the defenseman goes down. Henrik left wide open, and here's a nice look right into your living room. Boy, beautiful goal by the Brampton Battalion, and they now lead at 8-0.
Comes back. Jacina gets it to Veroshin. Veroshin goes to the side of the net. Going up top is O'Sullivan. Coming across for the save, Brad Topping.
Yeah, it's just one of those games for Brad Topping. Holy. He has been fantastic. He got cross crease there in no time at all. Sullivan was there on the doorstep. He even tried to go upstairs, but Topping still able to make the stop, and he's been solid in the nets tonight. You see O'Sullivan get the pass, and Topping slides across as he's falling down, gets a glove on it. Dougie, not all the saves have been clean, but very effective here.
Clement stepped into traffic in front of his own net. Here's a fight going. Greg Jacina and Matt Lojek. Huge right hand from Lojek. Jacina comes back with one of his own, and Jacina now just throwing haymakers. More tangled up, and they go to the ice.
Well, Jacina extremely frustrated. What started this fight, Dougie, was when Jacina came in over the line. He got pickpocketed by Lojek, and Lojek got the puck out. You see him lying down on the ice right now, and that might have been at the end of the play. And then,
no, he's lying on the ice because when they got tangled up and went to the ice, he hit his head on the ice. Helmet came off, and he hit his head on the ice. So that's why the trainer jumped on the ice as quickly as possible. He hit his head on the ice. And that's why both linesmen jumped in extremely quickly to pull Greg Jacina off of him. That's what happens sometimes in a fight. You lose your balance. Now watch him. He's going to lose his balance as they're going down. Here they're going backwards. There they go. There's the big right. And that's where he hit his head. Right on the side of his head.
being stabilized right now by the Brampton training staff, and that's definitely not something you want to see. And Jacina has already left the ice, and anytime you have these situations with head injuries, Dougie, the training staff takes precautions as they should, and they'll do everything possible to stabilize the injury, and the two training staffs will work together to try and get Lojek off the ice in a safe manner.
Now they're waiting for a stretcher to become brought out of the back.
Can we get a camera on something else?
As Martin Lojek is down. And there is... You
see Steve Ludzik's very concerned throughout his NHL career, both coaching and playing. Has seen some of the incidents like this. And grave look of concern on Ludzik's face, and the crowd has been silenced here. You see the referees and linesmen kind of discussing what's happened, and Lojek is onto his feet now, Dougie. But like I mentioned, the training staff in these situations is going to take every precaution possible, especially dealing with head injuries. So it's good to see Lojek back on his feet. He's being helped off the ice now. Thomas Lindhardt, also from the Czech Republic, over there from the Ice Dogs, and maybe to help out, whether it be translation or to give him some words of encouragement. And the 6'5" defenseman will make his way off the ice slowly but surely, and that's good to see.
Brad Hanley and Phil Voutier, the trainers, the head trainer and assistant trainer for the battalion, making sure, and you can see the ice pack and the cloth at the side of his head. He went down, tied up, went down heavily, clipped his head on the ice as he went down, and was really had no defense left once he was on the ice. Rojnin can't get across center, and that one's broken up by Young at his own blue line. He just flips it inside of Ice Dog's end, and the final seconds will tick away on a wonderful win by the Brampton Battalion. From start to finish, they dominated the Ice Dogs here at the bunker.
Well, Dougie, a nice way to rebound from a 6-2 loss Friday night. The Battalion really stick it to the Ice Dogs in this game, winning it 8-0. Kevin Young, fantastic. No goals entering, leaves with 3 goals and an assist, and that was 8 points on the season. You've got to be happy if you're Stan Butler the way your team has played here this afternoon.
You have to be happy with an 8-0 victory. There's nothing to be critical about. They came out flying from start to finish. We're coming back with more on OHL Primetime here on Rogers Sports. Stay with us. The Battalion beat the Ice Dogs 8-0 at the Brampton Center.